Hello and welcome to the Nixie Acolyte Talk Show. I am your host, Austin Elsler, the Prime Minister of the Queendom of Nix. We have returned, and I have brought to us a guest finally for the first time in history of the podcast. I have brought the CEO of Nix Delta Broadcast YouTube channel. I have brought the Senator of the Privy Council, which is my council, and also an appointed representative of the House of Representatives, and that is Senator Brianna McGuire. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Yes, and she is also our second co-host. The Queen is still our co-host. So we were supposed to have excuse me, I'm a little sick, so my voice might be a little off. But we were supposed to have a podcast about a week ago. Um or something like that. It's like something about a week ago or something like that. But something came up, and of course the Queen got sick, and so we couldn't have a video. And we had everything prepared. We had topics prepared. We had her prepared. We had everything prepared, but something came up and we had to cancel that. And like we were really upset about it. But it's okay. The Queen's on vacation with the King. Let her have her fun. Um I am actually at the castle today, so cuz I am babysitting the princess. So that's where I'm at now. And and not only that, me and the Queen has agreed to have Senator Bree as our second co-host to help the channel out, help the podcast out, and give us a third opinion on some things. Cause if me and the Queen never get into it, we might agree too much on things. But me and Bree might not agree on too many things. So, all right, so everybody should know about me by now. I'm the Prime Minister of the Queendom of Nix. Been that way for 6 years now. My position is not an elected position. Um, I'm sure it will be as soon as we get our island that we're pushing for. We're still pushing for it. Um, I mean, we're all starting the Queendom and Nix, at least in the area that we're in Kentucky. Trying to make sure all our citizens are prospering and surviving any way they can before we get our island. And the minute we get our island, we'll be good to go from there. But mainly, that's really the only introduction I have for myself. Um, you could just look us up. Everything else about me, maybe in my politics wise or endorsements or things that I follow. You can just look up our podcast channel, the Nixie Act Like Talk Show, or you might see me on Nick's Delta Broadcast. Um, and maybe meetings with other microstates that we talk to. So you might see me in all there. So yeah, just look up our website at www.queendomanix.com. And you'll find all the information you probably need if you have any questions. All right, so with that said, let's have Senator McGuire introduce herself. Tell the viewers about yourself, Brie.
Well, as you said, I am the CEO of the Next Delta Broadcasting channel. Uh, I may be the CEO, but I'm like everybody else. I'm just a regular person who has a part-time job outside of Nick. So basically, we're all still doing something either way. And one of my goals here is to help try to get our island as well. I can really see that vision, and I want to see it happen. And that's why I'm with them.
All right, thank you for that. So that's our introduction, guys. I know it's been a while. It's been what I've been told 8 months that since I've done the podcast, so I apologize for that. 8 months ago, there something came up to where it's a good thing. The Queen of Nix has actually hit a few achievements, and I wanted to keep pushing for it. So I didn't want to give that up. So I just went ahead and pushed that and took a break from podcasting a little bit, and of course doing the recording of the prime minister stuff, signing stuff into law officially in writing, and writing executive orders officially in writing. Because I've done a lot more of those lately, of course, in the past 8 months. I had no idea that 8 months already passed by. So again, viewers, I apologize for that. I am back. I am going to keep the podcast going, and I did tell everybody that I will be doing quote unquote prime minister episodes, meaning I'll give speeches on there. I'll do more citing stuff in the law and explaining what the law is and all that good stuff, executive orders, which they're not a lot. I don't think I made any new ones yet. I mean, I probably did. I just don't remember which ones I've done so far in the past 8 months. So we'll see when we get there. All right. So again, I'm sick, so my voice and my nose sound stuffy. That's why. So let's talk about the Queendom and Nyx today. Let's see what we can get done talking about here. Let's see what achievements did we accomplish in the past 8 months. Let's see. What did we get done? Well, we got a lot more citizens. That part I do understand. We got a lot more citizens. Um, we got more money in our treasury. We still haven't reached $3,000 yet, but according to our website that's been updated, here we go. We have reached $2,775.09, and that's in United States dollars. Um, so that's it. That's a good number for us. So we're getting close to $3,000. I was hoping to get more, but you know, it's just how it is. We haven't spent any of it in the past. Well, in the past 8 months, I think only $184 and some cents was spent out of it, but we gained all that back, so we're all good on that one. Another update: we are in, excuse me, we are in debt, but in Nixie pounds, and here's why. It's actually an accident. And it's funny at the same time. It shouldn't be funny, but it's funny at the same time. Here's why. So, I mean, obviously our currency's backed, so, you know, we're not like the Federal Reserve constantly printing money and go brrr, okay? No. So, we do print our currency, yes, with our own designs, our own signatures and coding and all that fancy stuff, right? So, but it is backed by copper, aluminum, silver, and gold. It's all backed by those, right? Okay, so, and of course, we passed a law a while back. I forgot. It's probably somewhere in those 8 months I've been gone. Where the government officials of Nyx has a minimum wage. So, and this is only for government officials. We have a minimum wage. So, and it's like £8 an hour. And, we just simply made it where, okay, just because you're a government official, you're gonna get paid. You're gonna get paid £8 per hour, every day, with like no stopping of the payment. So like you could be at home, not even working, you'll still get paid £8 an hour. You literally get paid £8 an hour just for being in office. Now, I know it sounds a little bit corruptible, because I'm sure that could be corruptible in the future when like, well, this politician ain't gonna do anything. He's just going there for the money. Well, you're probably right. I was for it at first, and now since I'm seeing that, maybe we'll get rid of it in the future, but we'll see. But it's on pause right now because of the fact that we're in debt. Because we are currently at 222,763 pounds and 0 grams, which are cents in Nix. So that's how much we're in debt in Nixie pounds. Good news, we have been making more Nixie pounds to make up for it. Because all the Nixie pounds that we're in debt for, those are all going towards government officials that have been working, that have been getting paid £8 an hour. So, and the Queen had to stop the minimum wage law by royal decree, to prevent us from going into further debt. Because, you know, we're already at 222,000 Nixie pounds. That's a lot of money. So, now we're trying to catch up with it. It's not a lot, but we are trying to catch up. Excuse me. Excuse me. We're trying to catch up with it. So right now, our money supply, which is our Nixie pounds, because, you know, we only make Nixie pounds. We don't make any other currency. We make Nixie pounds. we went from 218 Nixie pounds to 533 Nixie pounds. So we're making money. We are making money to try to make up for all the workers' compensation um, in our economy and such and such. So that's one good thing. It's a good thing to have. So um, let's see. Trying to find more stuff to talk about, and it's hard to talk about. So that's the only thing we're in debt with. So it's nothing major, you know, because we're still making money. We're still trying to get the island. That's what we're pushing for mainly. Um, Sadly, we still only have one taxpayer. No one has volunteered to be taxpayers yet. And that taxpayers month is actually a year is coming up actually. So that means a new contract will have to be discussed soon. But it's okay, it happens. Um, Other good news, we now have a functioning economy. We have a functioning GDP, which is currently at $204.22 in US dollars and 5 Nixie pounds. Which is a 64.40% increase from the last time we checked the GDP. And I can actually explain to you how that happened. It's because we now have classified industries. What I mean by classified, I meant by it's classified as what industry? There's industrial and tourism. Those are the only two things we have so far. It's industrial industries and tourism industry. So those are our two top industries right now in our regulations. That we also adopted and created our own. So that's a good thing. That's how we're making that economy. Commodities such as t-shirts and banknotes. And industrial industry comes from us selling aluminum ingots. So that's how we're making the good economy right now. So that's good news. Charitable donations. I also put, and I'm looking at our website too, by the way. So if you go on www.queendom.com, you can check out our website and check these things out for yourself. It's all there. Charitable donations. So out of the $2,775.09, $2,370.76 were all from donations, not by taxes. They are all from donations. So that's a good thing to know, that there are people that are donating money to us for this cause. And that's really it on the economic side. I'm gonna give my co-host here a chance to tell everybody how her thoughts on how the Queendom and Nyx has been progressing lately in the past 8 months. Give her a chance to speak other than me. Bree, what do you think has been that's been going on in the past 8 months? That's good or bad?
To be honest with you, I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, everything's been doing really good, but there is a thankless attendance issue that we keep having. But with how everybody's life is working against us, it's understandable that it would react like that. So I'm hoping we can fix that issue and prosper from it. Uh, I do have one question that might be a little bit off topic from that, though.
Okay.
Okay, so you were talking about the treasury earlier,
Yeah.
and we were hoping to reach 3 grand. What is the goal once we reach 3 grand exactly?
Oh no. That's just like a milestone. It's not a goal. It's a milestone.
Okay, there we go. I just wanted to make sure that was pointed out as a reference so people didn't get confused. Like, what's
Yeah,
the
no,
3 grand?
no. Our goal to get the island, our goal is to at least get $2 million, because the island, or at least 1 million, either 1 million or 2 million. Here's why: because the island is 690 that we're going for is $695,000. That's how much it
Mm-hmm.
costs. So 2 million would actually cover that, because we gotta deal with taxes, we gotta deal with expenses, we gotta deal with all that stuff before we declare independence.
Right.
So, because we're going to buy the island outright. We're not going to do the whole mortgage thing. We're going to buy the island outright. So, once we get the island is ours. Excuse me. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that
no.
makes.
So, is there
So
any more?
I'm pretty sure a lot of people have questions in terms of how we're gonna get our island and what happens after. Uh, should we worry about the United States of America or say like Canada? You know, blowing a fuse about the fact that we
Well, Canada,
separated ourselves from them?
right, right. That's a good question. Well, Canada can't do anything about it, cause it's in the U.S. jurisdiction anyway. But U.S. government wise, I don't think they really care. I honestly believe they do not really care, and it's mainly up to the president of the United States, whoever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and obviously, since we don't have our island yet, and we're not ready to declare full independence yet, we don't know who the president is going to be before we declare independence. We just don't know. So it could literally be
So
anybody. I'm hoping it'll be a libertarian guy, and that's just my opinion. But if it's not, it's not. Then we gotta negotiate. So, but we're also getting petitions to get people to sign up to help the Queendom declare independence. Where our goal for that is about what is it, 200,000 signatures? Yeah, so if we can get at least 200,000 signatures, that will get us to be known, at least known on the
right.
media, the press, like, hey, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why do you hate America so much? And get all that crazy stuff. So,
I'm
and
pretty
I
sure
want that.
a few of them probably knows a few answers to that question. That's a deep question right there.
Right.
Like, why do we hate America so much?
Right. Well, I don't really hate America. I hate its government.
Mm-hmm.
Its government has been tyrannical ever since the Civil War ended, and it hasn't stopped. It's been broken by the two-party system ever since 1865. It's been that long since the two-party system has broken this country. And I've seen people time and time again constantly going back and forth choosing red or blue because they don't want red or blue to win. And I'm like, then why don't y'all just pick another color? Because we're getting the same BS that we're seeing every single day.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
if they keep choosing the same color, they're just gonna make history repeat themselves.
exactly. So, like there are 33 third parties in the United States that I don't think anybody knows about. Okay, and one of them's over 154 years old. That's how old that one is. 154 years old. And that's the Prohibition Party. They are old, and no one's ever heard of them. Now, everybody's heard of Prohibition. No one's heard of the Prohibition Party. They've been around before the Prohibition. And obviously, I'm sure they're the ones that supported Prohibition of alcohol. So, um, let's see, what else do we got here?
Just so you know, the pool's making a weird sound.
Um, let's see. Well, I got monthly updates as well that I could probably put up, Bree, if you got nothing else to talk about.
Hi, Brie.
For the thingy.
There is a question that popped up in my head now just during our conversation that I like to talk about.
Okay, what's that?
Okay, so you were talking about how we're probably going to have to negotiate with the president at the time when we get our island. How would you know whether or not they would probably go through with the negotiations
We're recording
and
too.
not just outright attack us
Just so you
instead?
know.
Oh shit. Oh.
No, you good. You good. You good. You good. You good. You all good. All right, say that one more time. I had to do something.
Okay. So what I was saying is, you were talking about how we were probably going to have to make negotiations with the president at the time when we
Yeah.
get our island.
Yes, correct.
How would you know whether or not if they decide to attack us outright instead of negotiating?
That's interrupted.
Um. Okay. Here's why I don't believe they'll attack us. One, I don't think the president of the time will care. Two, Congress has to declare war. And three, by the looks of America right now, in the future, all 50 states is going to pass the Defend the Guard Act, where our National Guard in all 50 states are not going to be sent out to a war unless Congress actually officially declares war.
What's the war about?
Okay.
Like against
That
us if we
answers
declare
that.
independence or some shit like that.
On what?
Yeah, exactly, right?
I don't think I have anything else
uh,
on the mind right now.
if Congress declares war on us against Nix for declaring independence for the hell of it.
Can't.
Yeah, exactly, right?
They can't do nothing about it if somebody's wanting to do their own thing. One, that's First Amendment right. Can't do nothing about it. Two, it's y'all's own separate thing. You're not really part of.
Yeah, it's also the 10th Amendment right.
Exactly. I can do certain things if I listen hard enough. It just depends on what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot. I just don't like it.
Right. I heard you, Bree. Yes, the guest that I've told you about has arrived, and he's actually given me some good information. He's also said us starting the country is the First and 10th Amendment right. So there's that. Because here's the thing about the U.S. Constitution. Although, yes, the U.S. Constitution says that, you know, the United States is such and such like that exists, and it's a constitutional republic, right? But there's no constitutional amendment on secession. There's no constitutional amendment saying that we're not allowed to declare independence peacefully. And there's nothing in the Constitution that says that government can't do anything to us otherwise. So we're allowed to declare independence. And not only that, according to this information, I have no idea. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, according to this information that I've actually found when I was, what was I looking up? I was looking up something. I think I was, like, looking up, like, list of nations or whatever. And then I saw this. I saw, what is a nation? I'm like, what is that? And it turns out it's a lecture by a French historian named Ernest Renan in 1882 at the University of Sorbonne. I think it's Sorbonne. It's French, so even though I know French, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I think it's Sorbonne. And known for the statements that a nation is a daily plebiscite, which is a referendum that politicians propose, or something close to that. Let's see. If I can find the stuff that he talked about.
What do you want?
Huh?
Which one do you want? What do you want?
Which one?
Zombie in there, and there's that green Hawaiian punch in there. That's Hurricane, Hurricane, Bahama, the Ukiriko, the Melon Liqueur. I brought my ounce measurement thing too, along with my shaker.
Okay.
And then he's got Burnett's on top of the fridge.
Yeah.
And rum, so.
So what?
I don't know what he's got in the fridge. I don't know if he's got like White Lights or something. But
I mean, you playing the mix, or we just drinking singles?
I can mix shit. You know how I can do with mix
Okay.
shit. I got my actual ounce measure.
Okay.
Today.
I'll just deal with the blue Curacao by itself right now. Oh yeah, that works too.
Ounce and a half ounce.
Nice. Let's see. See if I can find it. Here's his claim on this, though. He claims that nations existing at the time of writing in 1882, such as France, Germany, and the UK, and Russia, will continue to exist for hundreds of years, and that any nation trying to dominate them will quickly push back to its own borders by a coalition of other nations.
You sure you want that by itself? Smell that first before you actually want that by yourself.
Okay. Ooh, that smells good. I've had it by myself, so. Or by itself, so. Tastes exactly like mine. Thanks. Ooh, it's got a burn. I like that.
I didn't know you wanted it by itself.
Sorry, I got myself a alcoholic beverage, but you know, I'm taking sips of it, so it's not gonna be like pushing. So to continue on where I was, Bree, sorry about that. and viewers. I'm trying to read this properly. Yeah, quickly pushed back to Rome by a coalition of other nations. The establishment of a new Roman or Charlemagnean empires has become an impossibility. Okay, so if you actually think about it, just by hearing this statement though, Bree, here's the United States now, which is an empire. Sorry, Americans, but our nation's an empire. It's no longer a free nation for democracy. It's a lie. Okay? It's an empire. Let's be real. Alright? and and we do have enemies. But we made these enemies through military authorizations, not declarations of war. So, because of us being an empire and doing what we're doing now, like we did in Iraq and Afghanistan, and even in Vietnam, what are the other countries doing to us right now?
Look at that. That's Blue Curacao mixed with that Hawaiian punch that's out there. You can't even taste it.
Shit. Damn. Here.
You're like, oh, it's
All right. Well, what was the question again?
No, I asked, with the United States being an empire, oppressing other nations, and using military authorization instead of declarations of war against the other nations, what are the other nations doing now? That Ernest Renan said in 1882.
Well, they're either doing the same thing or they're doing nothing.
Well, no, they're starting a coalition against the United States.
They're awesome.
Whether it's a war one or a economic one, like BRICS. BRICS is one of them.
You're gonna love me.
I'm trying to get out.
BRICS is one of them. So, and that's an economic coalition against the United States because they're trying to combat the United States dollar, make their own currency.
I added
Right.
liqueur into that.
So, and that's the thing about that too. And I think the goal of the CSTO, which is the Collective Security Treaty Organization, is supposed to combat NATO, but it's not as organized as NATO. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the members that joined the CSTO, they are friendly with Russia, who's the one that started it, but they're not as into it as Russia is. So that's the difference between them and NATO. They don't have the attack one, attack all policy. They don't have that. So, and that's actually a good thing, because if you can't defend yourself, then yeah. But no, the statement that I'm looking for is, I'm trying to find it. I'm gonna see if I could try to find it.
I don't know what I'm gonna call this now.
Let's see. I mean, I don't want to take too long looking for it, but if I can't find it, I'll just... Oh, no, here it is, right here. According to this, what he says right here, the existence of a nation, you will pardon me this metaphor, is a daily plebiscite, just as continuing existence of an individual is a perpetual affirmation of life. This leads Renan to the conclusion that a nation never has a veritable interest in annexing or keeping another region against the wishes of its people. In other words, areas such as states or provinces which wish to secede should be permitted to do so. If doubts arise about national borders, consult the population of the area in dispute. They have the right to an opinion on the issue. And that right there is what I like about this man that I accidentally discovered. Is that
Okay.
the populace needs to be talked to and consulted with if national borders are affected. So I'm sure that if quote unquote national borders are affected, well, we have our island, which I doubt anyway because we're surrounded by water and there's no road to the island. So I'm sure the United States will be okay, it'll survive. And that's why I believe they don't care. But if they believe it'll be affected, that's why we can negotiate whoever the president will be. So there's that. All right, enough talk about Ernest Renan for now. Let's get back to talking more about Knicks. I wanted to talk about this monthly update that we got.
All right.
So
Let's
on
go
June
for it.
1st, we celebrated Kentucky's 231st birthday. So Kentucky's old. I was born and raised in Kentucky. Most of the population is. So why not? Queendom has acquired a new dual citizen from the Republic of New Czechoslovakia. The president of New Czechoslovakia has decided to become a citizen with us. So, and he is also a registered voter. Let's see, on June 2nd, the Nixie Act Like Talk Show podcast says, yeah, we have a new co-host, so there's that, yep. The Union State Organization has its first unofficial meeting with 3 out of the 5 members attending. Yes, on June 5th is when the Queendom officially has its functioning economy for the first time. Yep, we passed, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 3 laws and 1 executive order. I put out an opinion poll to try to see if our legislative branch should change or not. A lot of people has voted yes on that. 2 of my executive orders got approved. We've been having a lot of tornadic weather lately, so we had a lot of bad weather in the past, let's see, 2-3 days, according to this list right here. Yeah. So, but it's actually not over here. It's actually where our Canadian citizen is, because they've been getting tornadoes up there too. And speaking of our Canadian citizen, Representative Kurt has 4 tracts of land up there that he plans to use for other purposes, and has saved one for any projects that could be used to benefit the Queendom of Nix. So, what suggestions do you might have to use that land, Bree?
Right.
Any suggestions?
Uh,
Well, it would
in
be.
terms of what you just mentioned, not
Well, it would
really,
be for
but I
farming,
remember you
but
guys had
what
a
you don't know
very
about this guy
interesting
is that he has
conversation
2,000
in
acres
Cleveland's
of
Next group
land.
chat about the
No,
lands
it's
and stuff.
all farming, and there's like about an acre or 2 of land that he's saving for Nix.
That's what I'm thinking of.
So he's already got 2,000 acres for farming. We're set on that one.
Cattle.
He's got cattle too. he's all set on that one. He's our agriculture guy. Yeah, my guest here in the castle, he's trying to give me suggestions on what we can do with that land too. We can't figure it out because we already got the whole agriculture sector covered because that's what our man does up there, huh? Silos? Oh, he's got silos too, man. I got pictures of his farm.
Waterway?
Huh?
Waterway?
Waterway? I'm sure he's got one though. Let's be real. He's prepared up there. Let's see. I'm trying to think of another one. Oh, that's right. I suggested an embassy. Or maybe some kind of a residential area for Nixie people that would like to live up there, or at least move to that tract of land, and we can figure out the whole money process there, like a rental village or something, and that'll give us some revenue, and then a place for people to live and work, all that stuff. They'll have like a community type deal.
Right.
blacksmithing place on one side, medical facility on another.
Yep. So yeah, there's
Which I
there's
know
that
how blacksmith.
suggestions.
That shit's fun. Blacksmithing.
So, but there's many ideas we could use that land for. We just gotta talk to Kurt about it. Multinational Association of the Americas has been doing well. We've been discussing a lot of topics about the Greater Idaho movement that's going on, the Medheshi Association in the Americas, and the collapse of Interstate 95 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We've been discussing about that. See of like how the MAA will respond to it if we ever get active enough to try to do any of it. And of course, on June 13th, you did our first interview together, Bree, on Nick's Delta broadcast. You had me on there for the first interview.
Yeah, definitely. I can send you a link to it, or you can do it so they can be able to check it out down below.
Right. Also on June 13th is when we had very, very rough debates on the House floor about the three joint resolutions regarding what type of style should our legislative branch be if we were to change it. And 2 out of the 3 has failed. And direct democracy is the one that succeeded. And that's the one that's on the ballot right now, which, by the looks of it, it's gonna probably fail by July 5th. That's my prediction. But we'll see. I mean, we still got 5 more days left. We got new members in the USO. The Kingdom of Dubast, their Council of 8, has not pushed for a dual citizenship treaty with the Queendom of the Nix. It has been tabled for a later date. So sadly, we do not have a dual citizenship treaty with them yet. We recognized a couple nations. We've been having extreme heat lately. Yeah, we adopted a newly simplified NICS classification system to help with regulations and classifying what industry is what. And then starting from the 21st and down, we have been adjourning our the House of Representative meetings over and over and over again because of lack of attendance. And on June 26th, we have our very first political party. What are your thoughts on that, Brie, about the first political party?
Yes, I actually want to get a little bit of details on that. What's going on there?
Well, a citizen that I will not name on here because he is a private individual. But if you want to know who he is, just look up our website, and just go to the Backdoor Party section of the website. That is the name of the political party, the Backdoor Party. I was not the one that came up with the name. The party colors is dark blue and black. The political spectrum, I even put that on there. So how I wrote it down, it's left-leaning, progressive-leaning, libertarian-leaning, and moderate. And according to the political spectrum diamond, it is literally on the top left corner of the moderate square. That's how far leaning it is in the moderate square. So far, there's only one member throughout the entire nation. They have not decided on the headquarters. Their slogan is "Don't Accept Tea," and it was founded on June 26th. And their purpose is to ensure a great future for the Queendom of Nix. That's what at least the founder said. So, and I think that's what all political parties should go for. But we'll see how it goes. This is our very first political party, so we'll see how it goes from there. So,
Okay.
yeah. Because as far as I'm aware, 10 registered voters out of the 11 people that have out of the 11 total voters that we have, One is unregistered right now, so he hasn't decided what's he gonna do yet. We have 7 that's declared non-voters, which are citizens who voluntarily decide not to vote in any of the ballots, which they have the right to do so. And we have 10 registered voters, which one of them is the backdoor party member, and 9 of them are independent, which means no party affiliation. So I want to get that clear to all the viewers out there. Independent means no party affiliation. There's no such thing as an independent party. Do not be fooled. So, but yeah, do you have any more questions about the backdoor party?
Until there are more information to gain from, actually, at the moment, I do not.
Okay. Well, I guess we should tell our viewers how, because our videos are sadly not going to be live for a while. That's why we're doing a recorded session. How should our viewers get their questions answered or their comments replied when they comment on our videos?
Mhm. Well, here's the thing. How people can contact us or for their questions, easy and simple. You can always go down to the bottom below this video where there's like comment sections. You can easily put your question in those comments. And we always check for comments every time we get a notification on our videos. We can be able to check those, or you can go to the Queendom Next website where there is an email or a phone number. You can contact us if you have any more questions or stuff like that, and we can talk to you through there.
Yep, that's right. What she said. That's what she said, and that's how we're going to do it. So even though our videos aren't going to be live, if you comment or ask questions on our videos, regardless of how long it's been since you've seen them, we will look for it and we will answer it to the best of our ability. So please keep the comments and questions coming. We will answer them. And of course, most importantly, like, dislike. If you don't like me that much, why are you watching? Okay, like, dislike, comment, and subscribe to the Nixie Acolyte Talk Show. That we need the algorithms to be known by at least a lot of people, so we can try to get more supporters, petition signers, donors, or even citizens, and that's what we're hoping for. But can't force you. Um. So, yeah. So please do all that, and we have returned. So just keep watching our videos. I do plan on making more, so don't you worry. I know I said it 1,000 times that the queen will appear, that I'll make another video, and sometimes it doesn't happen, but it will happen. The queen does want to be on the podcast, but she has her own needs that she needs to take care of. So, but it's okay. That's why we have a third co-host or a second co-host. So to help with making the podcast a little bit lively. So I know she sounds a little boring, but she's a lot more active than you think. Um I'm teasing obviously, but let's see, I'm trying to figure out what else we're doing. I think so far that's really all we are doing. I mean, all we did really was make money, try to get more citizens, updated the website 24/7, passed a lot of laws that's affected a lot of citizens, including us a little bit. So now we're about to see how this ballot's gonna go, see what happens next, and then we're gonna try to schedule things for the future afterwards. So, so far the future plans right now is to obviously keep making the money. Um, trying to think. There was other things. I forgot what it was. we're still making metals, so we're making a lot of aluminum and copper. We had to put a halt on that too because we didn't have enough time to get back into it. But we are eventually gonna get back into it.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
You may want to put that on hold just a little bit longer because I've seen on our notification we're going to be having thunderstorms all weekend. And more than likely, it's going to be another one of those type of bad weathers where we may or may not see hail.
Oh, I know that, but I'm not planning to do it this weekend. The King's gone all weekend. So.
It's called freedom fries. Brett, I will buy me some freedom fries.
Same. No, we don't plan on doing this weekend. The King's gone all weekend, so. And we're really just waiting to see if we ever have actual time to do it. So. It ain't gonna be this weekend. There are gonna be a lot of storms coming today, so.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that we got to talk about a lot about Knicks today. I mean, we got, we helped a lot of people out, try to figure out what Knicks is about, how we're doing things, we doing all right, all that stuff.
And we answered possible questions that would have been asked by others.
Yeah, that's true. And luckily, all the questions that I've been asked are actually on the website in the more or information section. And my answers will not always be the same. My answers can change because I'm a human and humans change their minds.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I actually need to get back onto that because there are some things that my answer does change on. So, I'll get back to that later. Let's see. Well, since it's already 10 o'clock at night Eastern time, I guess we should wrap this up. We got to talk a lot today. We have returned. So, it's not a perfect podcast video, but, we plan on coming back with more fire and, we plan on talking more shit about the U.S. federal government and its tyrannies. Especially taxes, because taxation is theft. Always remember that. And, yeah, so, Bree, do you have anything to say before we wrap this up?
Not that I can think of, but for all of these viewers that are watching this podcast, if you want to keep up with any press conference or stuff like that, or interviews, you can always go to my channel, the Next Stop Broadcast as well.
Yes, please check out our channel, Next Delta Broadcast. They've been helping us out so much. They have a lot more videos than the podcast does. So please check them out and do the exact same thing you would do to my channel. Like them, dislike them. If you don't like them while you're watching them anyway. Comment, subscribe, and share. Share both our channels everywhere. We don't care what social media you're on. It could be a black market social media channel. We don't care. Share it anyway. We don't care. Share us around. Spread the word that the Queendom explains on declaring independence from the United States. And that's what we want. And that's why we're making it. So, alright. Well, if that's the case, we will be back on maybe next Thursday. Does that sound right, Bree?
Yes, if nothing changes.
Yeah, nothing changes. We should be back on next Thursday. At the same, well, probably not the same time, but hopefully 7:30. See what happens, and hopefully the Queen will be back on as well. Finally get her on one of my podcast videos because everybody wants to see her. So, all right. Well then, while we have nothing else to talk about for tonight, I will see you all very soon.
Fuck the government.